Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so first thing, just as a reference for Airtable, Airtable is like upside down Excel. And so the tabs are, or worksheets, whatever you want to call them, are on the top rather than Excel or Google Sheets are on the bottom. So going through those, you can see events, people, organizations. Then you can see basically filtered or different views of the same data by going to views. So you can see a subset of the data, like I have this filtered just for Bella. And then I can see all the organizations in here, but they're grouped by the status. So if I just got rid of this, then we'd see it all, and I could sort by the status if I wanted to, and see things that way. So I'll flip that. Okay, so yeah, so just think of it as 3 different tables, and the blue-gray boxes are links between those tables. So this is the organization of VCU. This is a link to the segment, which is over here, customer segment. So if I click this, you'll see this little squiggly line that's showing that this is a customer segment. Just a way to keep things organized. And then an organization can have multiple people inside of it. So we've got VCU and Garrett and Manjari there. We can add more. I think Bella's contact was also at VCU. Like the one over here, this person, Roy Roach, works for Alumni Services at VCU. So we could also do VCU here. So the most important thing is, let's say we're just looking at this. So say you've got, you have your existing contacts. So I don't know how y'all are organizing your contacts or storing them. You can store them here, or you can only use this for people that you've reached out to or whatever it might be. The helpful part of this is that I can go in and just see just like where everybody is in terms of, okay, we've got some people that like the Roy Roach is a recent update, but these are all a year, year and a half old. So I know no need to really look at those. So for my visibility's sake, it'd be whatever you put in here, I can see how things move. And so this was 1 day since the last contact, where these are 506 days. But when you add a new contact, you can put in their first name, last name. This is just a formula field that it'll populate over there. And then email at email.com. You can add in their LinkedIn here. And then let's say I know this person works for Google. I can just write in this org. I can just type in Google. It won't find an organization. And so it says create. So if I just hit enter, that adds a new organization, which is now over here in the organizations tab. So if I go here and I go down to the bottom, you'll see Google, and then this person I just added. So the next thing I would say to do is this organization, we'd want to organize it. So what segment would that be? So I'd say Google would be, is it funding organization, ESO, VC, startup studio? I'd just say we can call it a product or product company. And that adds a new segment that we could filter on, basically. And so that's basically just you added a person that works at a place. So that's the first step.
Is it
I'll
okay if
pause
I ask
there.
a question that I'm still kind of confused about?
Yeah.
So I'm very thrown off by what the difference is between like contact 1, contact 2. And I guess I don't know if we like only have their LinkedIn, is that okay? And I don't know.
Yeah. So contact one, the status is supposed to manage how many times you've reached out to them.
Okay,
Um,
gotcha.
so if you have contacted someone 3 times and they haven't responded to you, that's good to know that we've reached out to them, like bothered them 3 times or 5 times.
And then also, do you want us to just log the people that we have leads with, or like that we're talking with, or do you want us to log all the people that we've reached out to?
Um, I'd say it's your choice. I think, like, I don't want this to become a lot of extra work. I want this, I would hope that this would support you in the work that you're doing and make your life easier. Um, and hopefully if you do it all in one place rather than have to do it like in 2 different places at the same time, then then I can see how things are going, and you don't have to track things twice. So I'd say it's up to you. Um,
Well, I
let's
just
just,
don't want to be like the only person that's like putting in 40 contacts type of thing. And also like I don't know, I guess I just don't want to make it uneven if I'm using this as just like, let me put all the people that I've contacted, and then the rest of my teammates are just using this as just like oh, these are only the leads. I just don't want that to get muggy, or confusing even.
yeah, I think what I don't necessarily want y'all to do is like if you downloaded a list of like 2,000 contacts or something, like I don't necessarily want you to just import that in here, um, and just have like a bunch of completely cold, maybe junk contacts. But like if you've got 100 contacts or whatever,
Mhm.
yeah, get those in here. Um, and yeah, that'd be great. I think, yeah, the only thing I'm trying to avoid is like flooding this with thousands of like kind of junky contacts that we don't know if they're even real.
Got you. Okay. Yeah. Thank you then. I appreciate that.
Sure. Um, so yeah, I mean, once you add someone, the next thing you do is you set their status. So let's say I added this person, and then now I switched it to contact one. They'll go down here. If you wanted this, like because this is grouped by the status, if I added another person down here, it would default to this contact one. So it just makes your life a little bit easier. If you group by some things, um, and it just like predefines those things. Um, so I just set the status for this person. Let's say I sent them a message. It'll say, like, I'm using this field to say this is when I sent them a message. Um, and because this is showing when was the last time I updated this field. So if you if you reach out to them, say tomorrow, and then update this to contact two, then this will then turn into 510. And it'll still be 0 days. So it's just helpful as you go and look at your own list. You can see, okay, who do I need to reach out to? Because I reached out to this person 10 days ago, this person 14 days ago. Um, and it might be time to follow back up. Okay, so the other thing to know is that we've got statuses for people, and then we have statuses for the organization, because the people, we're basically trying to get the people to schedule a demo. So that's where or schedule a phone call, where it's the goal is getting all the way to this demo complete. But what we want for the organization is we want them to go from maybe cold or warm all the way to signed a contract, because the people are not going to be our customer. The organization is going to be. So this is how we track the actual selling process of the organization, who would be our customer, where this is where we're tracking the outreach process to the people inside the company. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you for breaking that down for me.
Sure. Okay, so the very last thing is, let's say this person, we scheduled the demo. So we've got this person. That is when it's time to go over here to the events, because this is where you will go in and say, okay, I have gone in, and then the contact was first name, last name. It automatically pulls in this information. And the demo is on the 14th at 2 p.m. And I'd say, like, leave some notes for Luke here, so it's a good demo. And it will show that it's created by you. And then I will be able to go in here, and this is where I'll be able to set things as, okay, this was a qualified lead. And then if the org status for something, let's say Google, I can open Google, and if Google then switches to signed, this is how I would know that whoever created this now is entitled to like a commission. Whereas something that doesn't move to signed, but it's still a qualified lead, then that would be whatever, I forget the name of the term, but just the commission on a qualified lead. So this is where you're going, and there's that form that I sent out that looks like this. So actually, this is what you're going to be interacting with. This form. So you'll go in, find the person, and then say when the demo is going to be, and then here are some notes, and submit that. And if you're and I'll just hit done. And then that's where I'll be able to see this one, and we can navigate that there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. Also, while we're on the topic, I was wondering if you could walk us through how to set up a meeting with you as well, because the one that I clicked in the Slack, it immediately said like sign up for a sales meeting, I think. And I don't know if that's the best one to send out people, since at least Roy wrote she thinks that you guys are probably just gonna like maybe talk shop. I don't know, but I don't want it to immediately give it away like, hey, you're gonna be sold something, you know?
Yeah. Let me. I think I sent out the 20 meeting 20-minute one. It said quick chat. Was it so this is what I'm looking at. So I think I was going to send you a link to my, just like for you to be able to see my calendar, but because I have a I have two separate calendars, one for builder, one for my one client that's really meeting heavy. This scheduling page is the only way to merge my availability on those calendars. So I would say go in here and look for like my availability, and you can say, okay, and instead of booking it here, I would say create your own meeting invite. Like, so just go to your a calendar and then set that up with your discovery email, and then invite me and the other person, and that way you can join if you want to. But this is how you'll know when I'm available.
Gotcha. Okay. So just to recap, to make sure that I got all of that, we'll like send them this so they can see the times, and then they choose the time block, and then we'll send them an invite with our calendar through Discovery, so that way we can join the meeting as well.
I would say not quite. I would say look at this calendar and say, okay, Luke's available at 10 a.m. and 1:30. You can say, hey, love to set up a meeting. How's Tuesday look for you at either 10 or 1:30? And then they can pick one and then send it out. Because I think they might look at this and then they will likely just click on one, and then you might get excluded from it, and it could just be I don't know. I'm fine with either way. I just want to make sure that y'all stay in the loop with stuff.
So just to clarify, you prefer if they book when they were booking meetings, instead of booking it on this calendar on behalf of the client or having the client do it themselves, you would rather they book something on their Discovery calendar, just using this as kind of a template for your availability. And that way they can also be on the invitation and join the call if they want to. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. The only reason why I wish I could just send you a link to my actual calendar, but because I have two calendars, I don't want to have to send you two links to then be able to have to look at both. This is the only way to really merge my availability. So you're welcome to either send them this and just have them use the thing, and then you can send me a Slack message saying, hey, can you invite, somebody's going to grab time with you, can you invite me to it? Or you can manage the event creation yourself. So either way.
Got you. Thank you.
Sure.
And Bella, since you're the one who is working on, I guess, the actual sales part, are there any other questions that have, at least all the questions that I got from Torner Alejandro seem to have been answered from that walkthrough, but Bella, do you have any other questions regarding how to log leads in the CRM and how to book meetings that we haven't covered yet?
Not that come to mind. I'm sure I'll go through it once myself. And if I have any from there that I kind of meet, going through, I'll definitely bring them up. But for right now, you answered all of them. Thank you so much for giving us that walkthrough and all that.
Sure. One other thing I wanted to throw out there is you can do it either through Airtable or Slack. But just keep in mind that y'all are the basically the front line of customer insights. And so as you add people, let me share my screen again. You can go in and for your conversation with Roy Roach. Yeah, so you added notes here. So it could be notes about the person, or you can say you can also add in product feedback, and then add notes about what they think there. Or you can just message me in the channel about hey, I had this conversation. This is what this person said. Just because it'll help me prioritize things to focus on, and just want to make sure that these great conversations that y'all are having also help inform kind of strategically where we invest time and energy in terms of the product or whatever it might be. So yeah, just keep that in mind, that send out any insights or feedback, whatever it might be, that comes to mind.
Got you, for sure.
Thank you for that, Luke. That was a very helpful walkthrough.
Sure.
All right. And since we're recording this, I'll send this to everyone. But what we're going to do to help provide a little bit more structure moving forward. First of all, this recording is a really good one to go back to whenever you get confused, at least with Airtable. But we're also going to be writing these into some standard operating procedures for you guys to work on. And you guys are more than welcome to also help tweak and improve those SOPs as we move forward. It's something that would be really nice to even give to Luke after this project as a handoff, so that any future sales development representatives that also end up joining this project might be able to easily navigate Airtable and logging leads with Luke in the future. So that's something new that we're going to start implementing. And in terms of where all of this is going to live, what I'm doing this weekend is I am going to be building a new centralized dashboard for you guys. So this is kind of my announcement of the day, you guys are going to have a new dashboard you can access starting next week. I told you guys about trying to build this a little bit last week, but you guys will actually have access to it starting next week on Monday. So this is where we're going to be, this is where our SOPs and expectations for the project are going to live. It's also going to be where we kind of keep track of weekly goals, kind of progress tracking, helping celebrate any wins that we've had so far. But it's also where we're going to gather any current blockers and support that you guys need, so that if there's any, if there's anything that needs clarification, if there's any support that you need moving forward, to be able to make it so that you can focus more on, on doing the work and less on figuring out how to do the work, then that's where we're going to gather all of that information to kind of just help supplement our communication channels and make sure that everyone is always on the same page. So look out for the invitation to join that from me sometime this weekend or on Monday. And that one is going to live on Notion. So keep an eye out for a Notion document that I am making. And Luke, I will put you on that as well.
That's great.
Yeah. I know that's a new addition. So do you have any questions about that? Or Bella, did you have any questions about that?
No, not really. But I'm excited for you. Thanks for doing all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, some questions on my end.
Okay, cool. I'm hoping that will at least make things a little bit more smooth sailing moving forward. I know right now is a tricky time because everyone's dealing with finals and graduation and all of that. So thank you for your flexibility and understanding as we kind of try to get back on the same page. But I think that we now understand the importance of being able to communicate a little bit more and make sure that all of these are living in a centralized place. And the CRM walkthrough is going to be very, very helpful because now whenever we have a question about how the different fields relate to each other, I'm sure that we can just refer to this video. So I'll put a link to this video on that Notion page as well before I send it out to you guys. But I think that is all I had to discuss today. If no one else has any other comments, then we can end it early. Or if anyone has any other feedback that they'd like to share, I'm all ears.
Yeah, all I'd say is if anybody ever has any questions, just throw it in the Discovery channel and at me. And that is usually the easiest way to get my attention. And because I don't want anybody to sit around stuck. Yeah, so any question, big or small, just fire it over and I'll try to get back to you quickly.
Thank you for that. Yeah. It helps to have a founder that is so willing to help us through this process. So thank you for that offer.
Yeah, thanks for working together on this.
Yeah. Well, honestly, thank you for working with me, even though this is a pilot, and thank you for understanding pilot things.
I don't know anything about what that's like.
Not at all.
Not
Start
at all.
out scrapping. No. Building the plane.
That's been great.
It's a great plane, gotta admit. But yeah, thank you so much for everything, Luke, for walking us through this and taking the time for all this. You're appreciated.
For sure.
And thank you, Aaliyah,
Awesome.
for doing all this.
Okay, I think on that we can end it early. Give us back some time to drown in client meetings. So
yeah, I got another one in 20 minutes.
There you go. Hey, now you have 20 minutes to relax first.
Hooray. That's what I've always wanted.
All right. Let's hope that we can make Luke's life worse by booking more meetings for him. That's the goal.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you again
for
joining.
Thanks,
and I hope that you have a good weekend.
All right. You too.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.